Hi, I've got Nika with me. Yes, that's a good way to start, Nika. Here are my notes. Here's my pen. And this is my little buddy, Nika. And I'm going to do a little kind of review and a little forum time. I'm trying to be creative because I'm on a Dooney fast. And I'm just hanging out with my friends and my cat. And she's a little Dooney-nista too. But she likes all bags too, believe me. Anything that smells like leather. So I have here the Shelby shopper. So I wanted to do a little, I don't know, it's already been reviewed. I purchased this after seeing Pecan Beauty's beautiful bag. And I think Ivana has it and several other ladies have this Shelby shopper, and I use it a lot. This ended up being a wonderful, for me, very useful briefcase. Now it's sagging a little bit, but that's because I have heavy books and things in here. What I wanted to talk about today, though, was sort of hooking up with my last video. I was talking about designer bags and all the different aspects of the bag world, and I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing some of the information I've received, also things that I've done my own research. I'm an artist, as I said before, and I have my own fine art gallery. I love just shooting the breeze about design. I'm fascinated by it. You know, when you look at all these details of the luggage look, and that's really an homage to Louis Vuitton. And I noticed that a lot of the bags, when I look at them, whether it's Michael Kors, Karl Lagerfeld, whether it's Chanel, Hermes, I guess it's Hermes, and Louis Vuitton, a lot of these designs are derivative, and you see them everywhere. You see the tags, the keys, the charms, the different, just very subtle accents that are put on bags. So I leave this on here, and this is part of the look of the Shelby shopper. And you can see the new logo by Dooney and Bourke. And it's a structured bag. It's a pebbled leather, and it has vachetta trim, and it really beefs up the bottom of this bag. See the feet? So it just works so well with my stuff because I go on appointments. I represent 15 nationally renowned artists. I'm also an artist. I also obviously represent my work too. I'm in several galleries across the U.S. and I love going to an appointment with my bag, my work bag. And I've got all kinds of books and by the way, books, there we are. Books and heavy things. So this is a weighty bag when you put books and brochures and color swatches and my color wheel and all that stuff. So it goes in here and it goes on my appointments. And it really holds up well. It is heavy though. It is a heavy, but I'm so grateful to have this strap, the shoulder strap. And it's handsome. I appreciate the structured appearance of this. And I feel professional when I go on an appointment. So that's one of the reasons why I acquired this little piece, is for practicality, so that I can just take it. Yeah, it's a little boxy, but it holds so much, and it's so organized, and not everything slips to the bottom of the bag. I used to have a designer tote, I think it was a Coach, and everything just slid to the bottom, and it just wasn't very effective for me to have my bills. I have all kinds of reading material in here, so, and then I take with me to work. And then I love how this little class, I'll bring my little table over, it's got my little sweetheart on here. Are you going to help me today? Huh, Sweet Pea? This is Nika. She's assisting me today. So she loves the smell of leather. Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? But I'm realizing that a lot of the styles by all the designers are derivative. They're derivative of each other. I noticed that Louis Vuitton, actually Louis Vuitton and the logos of Louis Vuitton are quite beautiful. It's one of the reasons why I'm not sure I'm pulling the trigger on a Louis. First of all, I don't want to spend it right now, but they are beautiful. The Speedy bag, for example. And there's different designs in the Speedy bag, and then I have my little notes to remind me. The Damier Ebony is of the Speedy line. That's the checkerboard design. I think is beautiful, and also the handles are a darker color on that, the trim, and so if you're using it, you wouldn't wear it out as much as you would probably the monogram bag that has the light vachetta leather. So, but these trims are all taken from each other. And Dooney and Bourke is no less taking homage from the different bags. The structured form of these bags, you have Saint Laurent and their Sac de Jour. You have the buckle. That's actually a takeoff on the Hermes Birkin and Kelly. So it's a minimalized version of those two bags. Beautiful bag. That's $3,000 and $4,000 for one of those. But you see a lot of the trends, they take different aspects and put them together into a new design. And that's kind of how artists are. I know in my field, you have Impressionism, you have Contemporary Impressionism as artists, you have Expressionism, you have all these isms. And, and one artist takes that idea and furthers it in a more contemporary way. And you see a lot of that with these different bag designs. And that's what I'm fascinated with. I'm interested in how they came, how these things got whittled down into the different bag lines. Michael Kors takes a lot of its cues from the Celine bag. So the Celine is like a piece of sculpture. The luggage tote is sculptural with the gussets winging out on either side. Is a very new, that's a real new concept and kind of exciting. And you see that in many of the bags now, in all the lines. MCM has their own version of it. And also Longchamps is another beautiful French company of bags. But they, again, the silhouettes are all mirroring that Celine look, the trapeze Celine, very minimalistic aspect of their bags. So I like to see where these luggage tag ideas, where these keys, locks, chains come from, and where the designers were inspired, because as an artist I appreciate that. I may not go out and purchase bags like that, but it does help me appreciate how to pick bags that are more affordable, that would be classic lines that would hold their wear for a few years. And that's important to me, and I do like that about Dooney and Bourke. Now they do have their lines where they're trying to be more trendy and to appeal to a younger generation, and that makes sense, where they're moving away from all the tassels and all the extras on your bags. So it's important to recognize that the designs all share from each other. The Ricky is my favorite bag. I love it, and it's Ralph Lauren designed that, his company, and he really took from the Birkin and the Celine and then morphed it together into the Ricky bag. So you see these elements. Even Coco Chanel, like I said in the last video, took homage from the quilts with the quilts on the back of a horse, and used that as the quilting on the bag. The other thing I didn't mention in my last video is that she uses the chain on the bag was inspired by the belts that the nuns used when she was in an orphanage, and they used to hang their little keys off that chain. And so she later recognize that as a design element. And that's what's fascinating about artists. They take design elements from everyday things you and I would take for granted, from chains, machinery, utensils, buckles, belts, keys, luggage detail. And this is a luggage detail. And one of the things I do appreciate about this bag, and I'm sorry it's just kind of sagging a little bit, but it's got heavy book in here, so let me adjust it. Let me get it. There we go. But it's a softer, this is a pebbled, soft pebbled leather. And I like the fact that these designs don't take themselves so seriously. I think that's why I like Dooney and Bourke, because they've got the tassels. It's kind of an homage to the saddle. And that was the background of Dooney and Bourke. So I like, in a way, even though those tassels are a little fussy and they're not really current in the structured bag lines that are going on right now, I love that it doesn't take itself so seriously, and that it's fun and youthful, and there's a timelessness to tassels. Tassels have their place also in design, and that comes from some of the Spanish riding equipment having tassels, and horses having tassels off their bridles. So Dooney and Bourke's taking from that, and that's why I don't have objections about certain things that a lot of people may think is passé that are nice on a bag, because they are design elements I recognize. And that's the same way with this luggage tag. As opposed to having just keys dropping off, this was a different take on the Birkin key and lock, of which the Birkin takes from saddles and the Louis Vuitton. Also, the capuchins are also a version of the Birkin, also a version of the Saint Laurent bag. They all have versions of each other, and Chanel is one of the few companies that actually invites other designers to design for Chanel, because that tradition is a Chanel designer tradition, taking from different elements rather than a luggage and old saddle company. So, and I'm not as big about monograms, but I have to admit, I like the Demier Ebene in the Louis Vuitton. I mean, if I were to get one, probably, secondary market, you got to be careful, gang, because you could get in trouble if you don't know what you're looking for. You can get duped so easily. It's almost easier to buy the piece from the company. And that has a timeless, that checkerboard, and also their luggage logo. And that's one of the few classy logos, monograms. I'm not as crazy about the Michael Kors monogram as much, or the Coach, but I tend to stay away from monogram bags. That's just my taste. It's not everybody else's, so you don't have to agree with it. But so I love that homage to the 1930s luggage with this base here, and Louis Vuitton is coming out with a Speedy with these corners on their Speedy bandolier bag is coming out with this for the fall collection. So Dooney and Bourke is staying current with what's going on. They also have their Alto line, which is the Italian leather. But anyway, this is the Shelby shopper, and it has a bit of everything that is, the box silhouette, and but I still love their own lines. I love and appreciate the Florentine leather, so I hope they don't get away from that entirely, because that's kind of their roots. And also you smell it. Ugh, it smells so good. So I don't want to keep going on and on, but that's my little fun. You want to say goodbye, little Nikki? Hey, baby. See, she loves to cuddle up to those Dooneys. When I stop talking about Dooneys, she just walks away. She just goes, I'm not having it, man. So what do you think about the chevron interiors? I know they're doing the chevron now as the interior of this bag, and as opposed to the red. So my Dooney friends, what do you think? Do you like the red better or the chevron lining better? Now some of those designer bags actually have leather lining in them. So, but you gotta pay $3,000 or $4,000 for that one. You ladies have a good day, and I want to say love you, Lori. And keep doing your videos when you're ready. We just love sharing, and that's the bottom line, because I'm not going to be buying those bags till I drop dead either. I'm going to be doing other things besides, just collecting handbags. In fact, the next videos I'm going to do is about my art and my process and my some of the things I do with my art world and gallery, and how to purchase artwork. So we all have talents and abilities we can share, and we just love to hear from you. Love you. Bye.